The new pool 4 and 5 cards are shaking up the meta in Marvel Snap and are allowing for some crazy high point combos on the final few turns. But there's a deck out there that'll counter whatever surprises your opponents try to land you, and the best part is, this deck is only made up of pool 3 and earlier cards. So if you're ready to start taking some cubes away from those sneaky Series 4 and 5 meta decks, then you know what to do. Find that like button, and let's go snap it!
ValleyFlyin.
What's up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the Valley Snap channel, your one-stop shop for all the best Marvel Snap decks, news, tips and tricks, countdown lists, and a lot more. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Snap content. At least 5 Marvel Snap videos per week on this channel to help you get the most cubes possible. And if you're still looking for some Marvel Strike Force content, make sure you go back to the main ValleyFlyin channel for all that stuff, because this channel is all about Marvel Snap, talking about one of the best decks that I've been using nowadays. And with the crazy meta, all these pool 4 cards, all these pool 5 cards just dominating the meta, there needs to be some way that all these pool 3 cards can band together and kind of stop us from Bast, Silver Surfer, Shuri, She-Hulk, and a lot of these other cards. Mr. Negative is back, Sarah's back, creating some big combos that your opponents can play on those final few turns. And this is the deck that I've been using to try to counter some of those plays. So let's go take a look at it. First card I want to talk about is Sunspot. Main reason we have Sunspot in this deck is to give us a nice play on turn 1. If you want to replace Sunspot with something else, you don't have this card in your, or you don't like playing Sunspot and the combos, you could play something else on turn 1. We have armor in this deck here just to help us protect Sunspot. Let's move on though. Another great card that I like to play 1-2 combo is a Sunspot with Scorpion. Even more evil combo that you could play is an Iceman Scorpion combo on turn 1 and 2 to really try to debilitate your opponents. We also have armor here to stop someone from, or one of their Killmonger or something from destroying our Sunspot. So and also if we see some of their cards out there, we see a Bucky Barnes, we see a Nova on their card. What I like to do a lot of times is just kind of protect them with the armor so it kind of screws up their plans. The more I can kind of screw up my opponent in the early turns, the better. Another card that could help us get some power out there in those initial turns is Lizard. Now, he does have that -3 power if your opponent has a bunch of cards there, but this is just to give us some tempo and get that tempo in the beginning. And if we get lucky, we'll get that, make it a real 2-5 card without its power being reduced by having a lot of cards on the opponent plays. This is a great card for location control. If you see a armor or a Cosmo, or maybe not a Cosmo, but if you see an armor there or another 1 or 2 cost card that you want to move, Angela's a great target for Polaris. Polaris helps to kind of shift some of these locations. Also some pretty good tempo with that 3 cost with that 5 power that you can include into your deck. Maximus is a great another tempo card. The downside is that your opponent is going to draw 2 cards, but I see a lot more players playing Cosmo, and if you play this in a Cosmo lane, your opponent's not going to have any of these cards be drawn. And sometimes it's not the worst thing to have these cards be drawn, especially if you go Maximus and then follow him up with this Scorpion there. It'd be very nasty. You're getting more of their cards out into their hand, and then you're just afflicting all their cards in their hand with -1 power. So that's a nice combo that you could play, Maximus and then Scorpion. We also have Shang-Chi in here in case they get some crazy big cards, maybe a Destroyer that we're predicting on that final turn. Maybe they get some of their big cards out earlier. Maybe they play a Devil Dinosaur on turn 5 and we want to eliminate it. That is what Shang-Chi is here for, just to snipe them, destroy all the cards that they have at their opponent that are 9 or more. I love this. This is one of the best counter cards. We also have the other counter card in Leader in this deck as well. White Queen is another great tempo card. 4/6 is not a bad card to play, and it gives us the copy of our highest card and the highest cost card in our opponent's hand, which allows us to see what they're playing. Also gives us a pretty good card in case we don't draw some of our main cards, which we're going to talk about. So the main cards in this deck is Leech, and I love playing this on turn 5, especially if we see a Sarah or we see them start to build up some of their cards that they need to build up momentum for Leech, especially if we could play this on an earlier turn from one of the locations. This really screws them up. We want to be careful not to play this too early, especially if we get something like Pegasus Project that will allow us to play this very, very early. We don't want to play this too early because we don't want to let our opponents know that they're not going to be having all their abilities. You know, it's more likely that they're going to snap early on if you take away some of their strong cards, their abilities right away. So even if you get something like Pegasus Project or something that gives us a lot of abilities, I don't like to play this until around turn 5, until they have a lot of their cards in their deck, because if it's still in their hand, because if the cards are still in their deck, Leech isn't going to do anything. But yeah, Silver Surfers, Wongs, Shuri decks, this could be really debilitating. Even a Mr. Negative deck, you see those cards played, you should be playing Leech at that point. Now, if they don't play one of those cards, this is where you use that location control from Arrow on turn 5, moving all enemy cards to that location, especially if you have a location like Fixed Tower that's just going to destroy all their cards when they're moved there. This is a very good counterplay. You can kind of predict what they're doing and see if it's more appropriate to play Leech or Arrow on that turn 5. And then turn 6, we got Leader. Normally I like to use this card if I'm ahead in 2 or more locations. If I'm ahead in all 3 locations and there's still some space that I could fill on my side of the board with any cards my opponent plays, Leader's an excellent play because no matter how much power they throw out, you're going to be able to match it unless that location is full, especially if you've reduced all their abilities, taken away all the abilities with Leech. So Leaders is a nice, tricky play on those final few turns. And then Magneto also gives us some control as well, moving all opposing 3-4 cost cards at this location. This 12 cost power is very, very strong. So even moving all those cards, you still could win this lane, especially if you've gotten some tempo in those earlier turns, or you could just use it to draw away those cards, screw up some of their combos. Now, the main cards in this deck, these are the ones that I think you need if you want to run this deck: Magneto, Leader, Leech, and Arrow. All of these offer that either location control, reducing the abilities of your opponent, or just matching them on the final turn, depending on what kind of scenario you've run into as you create that tempo with these early cards. So some of these early tempo cards, if you have some other cards that you'd rather play in these spots, maybe you have some pool 4 or 5 cards that work a little better, than use those cards. But these are the cards that I'm running right now. If there's just other combos or other versions of this deck that you like better, let me know in the comments. Well, let's go do some matches with this deck right now so you can kind of see how this plays out and see some of the scenarios you might run across when using this deck. All right, we have Scorpion, we have White Queen, we have Armor, Space Throne. Only one card can be playing here, can be here for each player. Be very unfortunate. Could pull some nasty cards away with Arrow. Could be a big risk. We start with Sunspot on turn 1. Let's see how this plays out. They go with Yondu. They're going to destroy something. They destroy a Magneto, unfortunately. All right, what else do we? After cards here, give 1 power each turn. This is nice. All right, so let's go with Scorpion there. That'll be a great one because they're going to gain power, and especially gaining power if we don't use energy in turn. So this could be a big location. I think we're going to try to win the middle. I think we're going to try to win the Space Drone also. See if we can get something. We lost our Magneto, but maybe pulling something with an Arrow, especially after a Leech. All right, so they're going to go this location. Do we have the tempo? We don't have the tempo after this, which means that we'll be revealing let's get Armor there. Let's get them not destroying their Yondu and their Bucky Barnes. I'm predicting something like an Armor or something like that, or a Carnage, or a Deadpool, Deathlock, or something like that to destroy these cards. Killmonger wouldn't do it. Let's keep getting this power for our cards here. We have the White Queen. And if we could pull one of their 1-cost cards away with Polaris, that'll give us a nice, sneaky victory. Oh, they're going with Deadpool, or Death. Can't destroy Death. There's their Nova. That's a little bit odd. All right, so We go Polaris right now. That'll move one of their cards over. And then we could just match whatever they do with leader. I think we snap at this point. Although, if they place something here, we could be screwed here. Let's see what they play. We kind of screwed up their Bucky Barnes and Yondu. All right, so we're pulling one of their cards away. Yes, all right, so we get that location. Get the Carnage. Luckily, they play Carnage and not Venom, though. Wave. Turn 4. Everything costs turn 4. We have a death in our hand as well. So I think what we do, because we're winning all of the locations, yeah, let's go leader here. And where should we play this free death from all the destruction that they've been doing? And their wave. They're trying to ramp up wave. We're going to ramp it up ourselves. They may be going a lot of cards there. Maybe skipping this location. Let's try to win this location. And yeah, there's the win, I think. We've got far right. We're going to match anything they do. We got a bunch of deaths underhand. Nice. Big win there. I don't think they were expecting that leader. All right, here we are. Leech control deck. We have Magneto. We have Sunspot. We have Shang-Chi and leader all in our hand. Sinister London is the far left location. I think we wait on this one. Actually, let's play a Sunspot on each of these. Let's see how our opponent reacts. And let's see where they go. Let's see if we can identify their deck and try to stop them. All right, turn 6, we won't be able to play cards there. Let's get some more value. Let's get some more trolling. Let's reduce their card size or their power in their hand for all their cards by 1 with Scorpion. We're going to do it 2 times actually, because we're going to get 2 Scorpions on the field. Hopefully we're not cluttering our board too much and just making it ineffective there. Oh, we have a kiln coming up on turn 6 as well, or on the far right location, which means that we can't play any cards. They're almost like a storm locking down that location. Let's see if we can get any cards in there. All right, they play something there. They have a Morbius, which can up their value. You can get more and more value there. I think what we need to do on this turn is we go Maximus. Unfortunately, we already played our Scorpion, so it would be nice to get more cards in their hand and then destroy them all with Scorpion, or reduce their power by 1 with Scorpion. I think we go with Maximus. Hopefully this doesn't bite us later. If we get Leech though, this would be another good thing there. Let's see if we go Leech in the center. And if we get lucky, we could get more great cards with Sinister London. Maybe we play a double Magneto. Or possibly a double Leech. Let's go with Leech in the center. We're going to reduce all their cards. Or remove all the abilities from all their cards. And let's see how they play this. They go with another card on Sinister London. Hopefully this doesn't screw us up totally. They go with a Gambit. What are they going to destroy? It's going to be a random card. All right, not the worst. It is Maximus, unfortunately. Oh, and they get another one. Double Gambits on us. We're losing every single location. We can get it turned around. I think what we would need to do is go with a Magneto here and try to drive some of their cards somewhere else. Fortunately, they don't have a lot of power there. I don't think we have enough power on the board for a leader plays. So let's see how this plays out. We're going to go Magneto here. A little bit of a gamble. Not the best. It wouldn't be the cleanest win if we do manage to get this win. Might take the L though. They go with Colleen Wing. They're destroying Blade. Interesting play there. Trying to really build up their Morbius. All right, lots of Morbius builds up. We do get that location. We don't get that location, but we get the middle. So not the cleanest win, but we still do manage to keep their power a little low, trolling a lot of their cards there, and still manage to eke out the win. That is kind of what this deck does, is it counters a lot of the meta and a lot of power that could be thrown at the board on that final turn there. All right, we have Leech again in our hand, Sunspot Maximus. And after turn 3, shuffle your hand, draw 3 cards. That could be a problem. Let's see how this plays out. Maybe we get lucky with cards. Maybe we don't. The good thing is, if we play Maximus, they're going to get a bunch of cards, but then it's going to be shuffled and drawn into their hand. So Maximus gives us very little downside. So I think what we do is we go armor on Sunspot to protect him. That way they can't get Killmonger or anything like that, or Electrode, or anything else like that. All right, destroy that. And I think what we do at this point, because they have a lot in their hand, let's go ahead and Maximus here. That'll give them 7 points. They'll get the cards in their hand, but then they're going to shuffle them right away because of Adelan. Unless they do some location correction, they don't. They pull out their armor. What are they going to do? What cards will they draw? We get a leader. We got a White Queen. We get that Shang-Chi back. I think we go with the White Queen to see what they have in their hand right now. All right, so they play 2 of their cards. We get a Vision. They go with Iceman. Screws up the Lizard of ours. And instead of Vision, I think we go with the Leech. Let's remove their abilities. Could be running a movement deck. Be something with Infinite. Looks like they're going to give us the middle location. We take the power away there. And I think if we go leader here, I think we do need to play leader. Let's go leader on this location. If they play multiple cards, we could get screwed. Let's run leader on that location and hopefully it gives us what we need. Let's go. They move the Vision over and we get a Hulk. Okay. So we get the far right, we get the middle, and we get, and they could have that right there. We get it. We get it. Leader saves us. Their no abilities didn't do anything. All right, we have White Queen, Maximus, Leech. We're getting an extra set of energy. It doesn't do anything based on what we have in our hand right now. Well, let's see what we pull. We do get a Sunspot. We get an extra energy because we're only using 1 energy, so it should be a 2-cost card or a 2-power card. You would Blade, destroying their Apocalypse. If we could get this Leech out on Apocalypse, that'll be nasty for them because they will destroy their Apocalypse. Oh, it would have been awesome if it was Leech. All right. Oh, they go with Apocalypse right there. Not great for us. We can still overcome this, though. I think we're going to give them that middle location because of that big Apocalypse. The good thing about their Apocalypse coming out this early, they can't destroy it more and more times. All right. What are they going to play? They go with a Sunspot as well. We counter with a Lizard. And what is the last location? Last location is, oh, the rocks. Don't want to play there. I'm gonna go to this middle location to kind of keep locations free. We don't want to load everything up too early. It's only turn 3, so we'll keep in the middle location, reduce their power on all of our cards with our Scorpion. And what are they playing? They go with Swarm, playing Swarm early, so not able to destroy him. Get some extra value for that card. All right, so now we have a Magneto. We have a White Queen. I think with White Queen, we go this location here, and then Leech, what we'll do is that far right location. All right, so you go Sif. They're destroying Dracula. Oh, so possibly Hela, possibly Ghost Rider coming back. And we get a Hell Cow of theirs. That doesn't benefit us all. So I think we go Leech here. Remove all the abilities from their cards. All right, they're gonna go hard on that middle location. Already conceded that. They're destroying their Hell Cow. We got the Leech. And I think we pull Magneto. We pull them to Magneto. We got this location here. We have this location. They can play 1 card. I think we go leader in the middle. That'll match whatever they do. They don't have abilities. We've got 1. We've got 2. We won't get the middle location, but anything they put here or here, we should match unless they drop 4 cards on this location. We should be able to win. Let's see what they do. I think we should have snapped there, although we might have scared them off. Let's see if we can get 2 cubes with this win. What are they going to play? We're just going to match everything they do with leader. All right, they go far left. They go with America Chavez. We also go with America Chavez, and we get the victory, eking this out. So let me know what you think of this deck, guys. This has been the most consistent for me as far as climbing up the ranks. Now, this is not a deck that I've won a lot of cubes with. Normally, I'm winning 2 cubes, maybe 4 cubes. Very rarely do I get those 8 cubes, and I think if I want to get those big plays, that Surfer Negative deck is the deck that you want to use. If you haven't checked that deck out, I talked about it in my Silver Surfer video last time. Check that video out there. But if you want consistency, making sure that you're going to win your matches and not have to rely on a lot of these great cards to be drawn, and if they don't, then you have to retreat. This is a deck that has been the most consistent for me. So let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know what deck you're using, if it's totally different than this. Let me know if you've switched out a few cards that made this deck even better. I want to hear your thoughts, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you haven't already subscribed, though, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Snap content, and I will see you guys next time. Check out some of the sponsors if you want to support the channel. Have a great rest of your day, and give me that Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin out. Have a good one, guys.